Hey everybody, welcome to the AI Guide where we focus on the human impact of AI. So this time, part 3, the last part of this Tesla Autopilot crash problem. So one of the things that strikes me about this article from the Washington Post that we've been using for this 3-part series is that the federal government is very, very slow to react to emerging artificial intelligence, including self-driving systems. They have not shown that they are capable of managing this exponential process. And I'll have some wrap-up comments in a minute. So what a former federal regulator says is now you have technologies that are going out on the road and you're asking the public to take part in their testing without consent, said this guy Heilman, who is a former NHTSA regulator. So that's exactly what the problem is. What's needed, experts say, is a more proactive approach that can set the ground rules for new technologies and head off problems in advance. And that's what I was just saying a second ago. The autopilot updates and the Tesla recall were not adequate, said Phil Koopman, a professor at Carnegie Mellon University who studies vehicle technology. And if you want to know more about Carnegie Mellon, they have been at the leading edge of self-driving for decades. Go back to the history videos that I did. They did the first self-driving trip across the country, Carnegie Mellon University. He said the agency should be clear with automakers about what it views as unacceptable risk in designs. Tesla basically thumbed their nose at NHTSA, Koopman said. The question is, how often do they have to go back and forth? In Europe, car designs are certified by authorities who review vehicles and technologies before they are sold. That has given regulators more power to control the deployment of driver assistance systems. And my viewers know from a prior video not that long ago that Europe has already certified 2 vehicles for level 4, which is near full autonomy, but only on a few stretches of freeway so far. But that's the power of a proactive approach. In response to questions about how it is ensuring the safety of the new technologies, NHTSA pointed to several steps it has taken in recent years, including the autopilot recall and a 2021 order that requires manufacturers to disclose details about crashes involving automation systems. And as my viewers also know, this is what California did recently with Chevy Cruze self-driving cars in San Francisco, but the DMV did that in California. Congress this year approved funding for a new office at the agency with a staff at 10 who would consider rules to ensure safety. And NHTSA officials are also expected to soon release a proposal that could give them more oversight of fully automated vehicles. So, for example, this week they issued a new standard regarding automated emergency brakes. But the wrinkle is that mandate won't come into effect until 2029, 5 more years. So NHTSA also said just last week that it is opening an investigation into Ford's Blue Cruise system after it was linked to 2 fatal crashes involving Mach-E electric vehicles in February and March. The National Transportation Safety Board, an independent investigative agency that investigates plane crashes and also apparently vehicle crashes, is also investigating. Mast, a spokeswoman for Ford, said the company was supporting NHTSA's investigation. So one more problem with NHTSA is the agency has had significant leadership turnover. So going all the way back to 2017, which is 7 years now, they've had a Senate-confirmed leader for only 3 months during that whole period. So that is also a very serious issue with this regulator. Finally, even when it does propose new rules, NHTSA requires 7 to 10 years to finalize the standards. So true full self-driving will be here before they'll even get new rules done, if that's the case. So the bottom line is self-driving systems continue to be far ahead of government rules, and NHTSA advises drivers that every vehicle currently for sale in the United States requires the full attention of the driver at all times for safe operation, which is to say there's no level 3 autonomous vehicle approved yet, except in very limited circumstances like specific stretches of freeway. And those stretches of freeway so far are in California and Nevada. So Mercedes goes on to say its system was approved by officials in California and Nevada and relies on multiple sensors and redundant systems for safety. GM spokeswoman said its Super Cruise system is marketed as offering convenience, but drivers must pay attention at all times in the vehicle. In March 2024, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety graded 14 systems offered by 9 automakers, including Tesla. It ranked 11 of the systems as performing poorly on tests designed to measure how well they monitor whether drivers remain engaged. So as you can tell, regulation of self-driving systems right now really falls to state and local authorities. So in part 1, I mentioned we'd find out what happened to this Tesla driver that ran over the guy in the motorcycle. Police took Hunter, the Tesla driver, into custody, jailing him on a vehicular homicide charge under existing distracted driving laws. So this is what happens when you do not keep your attention on the road, even with these system folks. If you get into a fatal accident, vehicular manslaughter is a real felony rap. Said Washington State Police, the driver is always responsible to operate a vehicle in a safe and legal manner. So as you can tell, self-driving systems are exponential in speeding far ahead of the ability to regulate them. This is why you really have to pay attention on the roads these days, because people using these systems aren't, and you have to be ready to avoid an accident at any moment. So driving actually is more difficult temporarily with these self-driving systems. And the way the US does it is not the only way to do it, as proven by Europe and China, who take a very proactive regulatory approach, and both of which have approved level 4 autonomous vehicles. So it'll be very interesting to see how self-driving continues to develop. It's on an exponential path. My expectation is that the first level 5 autonomous vehicle will be approved in Europe and China within 3 years, by 2027 at the latest. That vehicle will have no human controls in it and will be truly autonomous. So thanks so much for tuning in. If you like this series, please like, subscribe, and share. Obvious human impact here of a serious nature. Also, please support us on Patreon. Without your financial support, I can't do things like go to TED AI 2024 and bring you live breaking updates from the very bleeding edge of AI. So thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.